In the great year of 2024, in the year of 2024, instead of looking towards the future, I'm looking to the past. I mean, can you honestly sit there and tell me you're looking forward to the future? By the end of next year, we'll probably be in a third world war, GTA 6 will probably be delayed till the heat death of the sun, and the ice caps will melt, or something. Anyway, while many others who tend to look to the past often look at things that are fondly remembered, I look back at a game franchise that everyone has forgotten and no one cares about except me. Yokai Watch was a game made by Level 5 and was released in 2013 in Japan and America. Now, with a name like Yokai Watch, you're probably sitting there like, what on earth is a watch? But in all seriousness, yokai are strange, supernatural creatures that derive from Japanese folklore. Many yokai are pretty scary, so the game mainly just utilizes some designs and abilities for the in-game yokai. One of the funniest examples of in-game versus original folklore is the yokai Wall Kappa. In the game, Wall Kappa is this chill, laid-back dude who you would probably want to have soft tacos with. Then you find out that the yokai he's based after, the Kappa, was a water-dwelling creature that often drowned and ate its victims. It also reached its hand up your anyway. Yokai Watch released to... when it released, it was a smash... It released. In America, this game wasn't met with much fanfare. While critics found the game to be an enjoyable experience, they also couldn't help but draw similarities to a game that was alike in concept and style, Pokemon. In Japan, however, this game was a raging success and even overshadowed Pokemon in popularity, which is a shocking thing to say because nowadays people don't even know what a Jibanyan is. Things were just going to heat up for the Yokai Watch franchise though, as it achieved something only the most prestigious of gaming icons get, an anime. It was to join the likes of Pokemon, Sonic, kinda, and, McDonald's? The Yokai Watch anime released in 2014 and actually did find some success in America. Heck, I should know. This was my favorite thing to watch when I was a kid. Yokai Watch also got a movie. Multiple, in fact. Only one made it to the US, though. Anyway, after all this talk of the game, you're probably wondering what the game was. Well, Yokai Watch was a not-so-typical RPG where you befriended yokai using the Yokai Watch. You then used those yokai to try and beat other yokai. However, instead of obliterating those other yokai, you had the chance to befriend them. Befriending yokai gave you their medal, which is basically what you use to summon them into battle. The actual fighting wasn't very normal though. In an average battle, you didn't have much control over your yokai. They kinda just jabbed at the opposing side for a while. However, there were special moves that you could perform called Soultimates, which you could only do after gaining enough, spirit points? I can't remember. Anyway, Soultimates were yokai specific moves that dealt a bunch of damage. The traversal was what you'd expect from an RPG, and it certainly didn't help in decreasing the comparisons drawn between it and Pokemon. But then again, this is really how most RPG traversal is, so... Along with the game and show, it also received toys. In America, Yokai Watch's master toy partner was... No! Yes, in America, Hasbro was the main manufacturer and distributor of Yokai Watch toys. They did a pretty okay job. When compared to the toys Japan were getting, these were just a lot clunkier, more uncomfortable, and not as cool looking. That doesn't mean I didn't buy each and every one though. Hasbro sold small packs of medals that you could use with the actual Yokai Watch toy. They also sold medals with these little figures. They're made out of this really cheap plastic, but I think they're still pretty cool. But where's one to put their awesome medal collection? Well, the medallium, of course. I'm proud to say that I still own both the watches, both the medallions, the little figures, and a bunch of medals. And before you ask, no, this video wasn't an excuse to show off my epic toys. Okay, maybe it was. Anyway, after the first game's success, the second game was promptly put into development. Yokai Watch 2 Fleshy Souls and Bony Spirits released in 2014. Yes, 2 editions. Wow, really setting yourself apart there. While this game introduced new mechanics such as literal time travel, the game was still pretty much the same as the original. However, it did also introduce the new Yokai Watch Model Zero. It was like the Yokai Watch, but with color. Naturally, the anime began introducing new concepts from the second game, and eventually Hasbro made a toy of the Yokai Watch Model Zero, and this time, the medals were green. However, after the second game, it was time for the end of Yokai Watch's story in the States. The release of the third game and the third season of the anime were the last things we would really get in the US, and they weren't enough to bring new interest into the franchise, which is a shame because the third game was literally geared toward an American audience. There's a cowboy hat on the logo. How did we let this fail? The third game had also introduced new characters such as Girl and Blue Space Dog, as well as the new Yokai Watch U. Yes, another new model. You would think they were Apple with how they were releasing so many of the same product. I would say the saddest thing is that Hasbro didn't make any toys for the third game, meaning we wouldn't get the new Yokai Watch or any medals of new yokai. The fact was, Yokai Watch was a sinking ship in America. Meanwhile, in Japan, it was still going strong. Nowadays, we don't get anything in America, and even in Japan, the franchise has fallen off. It's nowhere near as popular as it once was, probably because of things like this. What the hell? And that is the state of the Yokai Watch franchise. The fourth Yokai Watch stayed in Japan, the anime just ended like a year ago, and a new game is confirmed to be in development. It's pretty sad looking back and seeing the huge push for Yokai Watch to be really popular, especially in the US. But I think people were just turned off by its strong Japanese influence and its similarities to Pokemon. It was such a great game with some really great characters and writing, and the same goes for the anime. So it's really sad to see how Yokai Watch isn't as popular as it should be. Maybe it just needed to copy Pokemon even more to be popular.